This video contains content that may not be suitable for all viewers. Viewers' discretion is advised. When is someone going to pray for black people? I've heard people say, pray for the country and the nation, or pray for peace. But I never heard them one time say, let's pray for black people. Let's pray for them to get better. I don't hear black people saying, let's pray for us so that we can get better. When are black people as a whole, as a nation, when are we going to stop being stupid? Why do we always fall for anything that a person tells you? That's why certain people get stuck in these bad relationships. The other person lies to you and lies to you time and time again. You just keep going for it. And here it is, we just been lied to so much that we just want to believe anything that a person will tell us. You know, a lot of black people hollering about they want peace and better days for black people. But what have black people as a whole done to bring about these better times and peace? It's like a person that wants a car. They get a job, start making money, and put it to the side so they can purchase a car. They don't just sit there and say, oh, I hope I get a car, and just sit there with the expectations of getting a car. It don't work like that. And black people saying that, oh, we want peace. We want things to change for us. What have we done to bring about change for us? I'm telling you, we've done nothing. We have not done one thing to bring about change for us. I was looking today where they said they're not going to charge these cops with the murder of Tamir Rice. And I can only think back to all of these black, so-called black leaders, Al Sharpton mainly, who's always saying, oh, let's wait. Let's take it to court. Let's see what the court's going to say. Let justice be served. And, as usual, no justice is served for black people. And, like I say, we keep falling for the same things every time. Look for it, because it's not going to stop. Some black person is going to be murdered at the hands of some racist white person. And they'll just send in the Al Sharptons. You know, when black people start getting kind of riled up, they're sending these bootlicks to calm us down. Al Sharpton mainly. Hey, let the courts handle it. We're going to take it to court. We got it this time. And, as usual, nothing is going to happen. Nothing is going to happen. People should just pay attention to what are our actions when things do change a little bit, and what are our actions when things remain the same. I said time and time again is that they are going to use, or they are using this COVID as a weapon against black people. As I said, when Donald Trump was first talking about these border walls, I said to myself, now wait a minute, man. When they build these walls and gates or whatever, it is not to keep things out, but to keep things in. And I say, suppose something happened in America to where people will want to get the hell out of here, but they won't not be able to because of the border walls. Well, since this COVID deal, I kind of suspect something was going to happen. Now they're saying that you may not be able to travel abroad without this COVID test something that's going to attach to you being able to get your passport. You have to be approved of being COVID free, which will keep you here. And you trying to get the hell out of here because America is going crazy with this COVID vaccination, all this COVID talk. They're going crazy with it. And if a person doesn't take it, you won't be able to get a passport. You probably will not be able to get a job. You probably will not be able to get regular identification. You might not be able to get food stamps because I heard they are going to stiffen the requirements for people that want to receive food stamps. And what about unemployment? What about Social Security? What about just going to the hospital? What have you had your COVID test? We want you coming there infecting people and you don't have the COVID. We as a people, as a nation, we have to get off this cycle of ignorance. We are too ignorant as a people. There's too many things that we don't know. And we're not fighting to know these things. What about harnessing electricity? How many black people know about that? What about refining oil and gas? How many people know about that? What about purifying water? How many black people know about that? There are too many things that we are ignorant of that we should know. You know, I heard about these group of black people that went and purchased this land. And they're going to try to build up their own little town, I guess. But you have to remember people in that town. Where is this town located? Hey, if you don't have any protection for your town, look for your town to be taken. You know, I keep telling my people all the time is that, hey, man, you have to chill out for a little while. Just step back, stay away from everybody, do what you got to do, but, hey, man, keep your distance. Quit looking to go back to how things once were because they'll never go back to what they once was. We have to look forward, look at what's going to happen in the future. And so many people, not only black people, man, they want these old times to come back. I can distinctly remember some of the better times in my youth and how the black neighborhoods were set up back then. But time brought a change. And no matter how much I wish and hope and pray for those days to come back, they ain't coming back. The same thing as a life that you had prior to this COVID BS. That life is not coming back. And here's another thing to think about, because they don't want people social distancing. When the next person is murdered and people want to go out in the streets and protest, you will not be able to because you won't be practicing social distancing. This protest is illegal. All of this happened right after the George Floyd and the incident with Kobe Bryant, his helicopter crashing. People were upset about that. And like I said, people were upset about George Floyd, beyond tell so many other things that we were upset about that hey man, we just had to go out in the streets and holler. But now they're going to fix where you can't do that. You got to stay in your house. And you still can't holler too loud because you're going to have to put that mask on. I guess my prayer is that black people will stop being ignorant. I'm going to tell you another thing I've been noticing out of some of these YouTubers is that they are promoting black separation. Oh, you are immigrant. Oh, you are African. Oh, you are Jamaican. One thing I know about these immigrants that come over here to America, the ones that come over here legally, they're some coons, man. But that's saying that all of the Africans and all of the Jamaicans and all immigrants are coons. They're just like saying all the black people over here are with it, and that is not true. Look at Charles Barkley. So you just cannot make that, you know, as something for all immigrants, because I just don't believe that. Now that's separation talk. Because when I hear Africans trying to talk bad about African Americans, this man don't even know me. The stuff he talking about that black people do, I don't do that. He's generalizing. And I notice a lot of these YouTubers, the black ones, are generalizing on how these immigrants are. And as I say, you got some coonish immigrants, just like you got some coonish black people that they come from a long line of coons. For some reason, they just can't stop. You know, when I hear these immigrants speaking on us and what we should do, I always tell them, sir or ma'am, this matter does not concern you. Although you are black, you came from a country where you are getting treated just like myself. But what did you do to change that in your country? You ran to America. And blacks, most of us, don't have that luxury to run from America. Especially what's coming up here pretty soon, to where you're going to have take a COVID test in order to get your damn passport. So there it is, you're going to sneak across the border, going through rough and rugged terrain. And who's to say that they might not have some drones that are monitoring these borders and shoot you down when you try to leave? There are too many unanswered questions that I ask about this coronavirus. And the first question I always ask is, how did it get to America? Who brought it? Did it come through the air, or did a person bring it? And after it got here, how did it get to the black neighborhood in order to affect it so bad, as you say? I mean, because when I hear him say that, the only thing I can say is that you have Asian nail shops and chicken wing joints and all kinds of stuff in the black community. Is that what you're saying, that the Asians brought it to us? And as I said, we have a lot of issues that are near and dear and very important to black people. It is the murders of black people, men, women, and children, by the hands of racists. And we try to talk about that. Oh, they don't want to talk about that. It's like, you don't want to hear it. But when it comes to this COVID, oh, now you want us to hear you. You want to pretend as if you have our best interests at heart. But yet and still, black people are being killed at the hands of police departments. This black man the other day, killed in his garage. And now the police saying that the man, didn't make any threatening moves or anything. So why the hell did you kill him? And why does it take so long for these cops to be fired or anything like that? If you love us and care about black people so much, you would address that issue. If you loved and cared about black people so much, you unasked some reparations. But I see this big change coming. I mean, they are taking the power away from the churches. Church used to have a lot of power. I think the Catholic Church still have their power. But all these other little churches, little mega churches and stuff, they are taking their power. They are fining them and taking people to jail for gathering at church. And that's their choice. But I'm quite sure that everyone has heard a person say, this too shall pass. This will pass, but in the meantime, in between time, you got to stay grounded. Too many people are losing control. They're going crazy. Kidnapping kids, killing their significant others, killing their parents. People are just losing it because they're not used to being without. But it says in Isaiah 26:20, come, my people, enter your chambers and shut doors behind you. Hide yourselves for a little while until the fury has passed by. This fury called COVID-19, it eventually is going to pass by. But that's why I said you got to shut yourself in. Quit being so anxious to gather, to group up. You got these internets and these phones, do it over the phone. Because why put yourself in harm's way? There's a lot to be said about this COVID because I've been reading that up in Africa, up in France, that they've tested things like oranges and other inanimate objects, and it came up positive for the corona. See, one thing about us, we see things in a fantasy world. We hope and pray that things will change when we're not doing nothing to bring about that change. And another way to look at it is, if you pray for change, it might not be the change that you are looking for. Change is uncomfortable. And we are not living comfortably right now. I myself, I'm looking for me another damn job to go with this one I got here because it's just not enough money. I really would like to go back to school, but right now I don't think it's just a good idea. So you might have to do everything online because I need to get smarter. And that is something that all of us should be doing. Striving to be smarter. People who aren't spiritually grounded, they are losing control. They're just doing everything to make their lives end in disaster. Whereas the people who are spiritually grounded, we just kind of holding tight. Anytime in the future when black people are going to try to ask for anything, they're always going to put COVID in front of it. Oh, you're more concerned with that than you are about COVID. People are dying, sir. People are suffering from this disease, and you're worrying about that. Yeah, what about them Democrats? They love the people so much that they want us to have a measly $600. We've been suffering since March. And they constantly talk about the thousands of people who have and are about to lose their homes because there are no more jobs. Big business is taking over. See, the only way these big businesses and people can be successful is if the people support them. We need to support small businesses and show these big businesses how we really feel. And it is a known fact that trouble does not last always. For the people amongst you that that won't cooperate and that don't want to come together, don't worry about them. Kick them to the curb. Everyone used to say, what would Jesus do? Well, I know what Jesus said. Jesus said he did not come to bring peace, but a division.